Sunlight streamed through the stained glass, painting rainbows on the polished floor. The air hummed with the low murmur of guests, the scent of lilies heavy and sweet. My tux felt stiff, my palms slick, but the grin on my face was real. Unshakable. This was it. The day I'd dreamed of. Our day. Sarah looked like something carved from moonlight in her dress, a vision walking towards me down the aisle. Her smile was radiant, fixed, perfect. When she took my hand, it felt cool, but I chalked it up to nerves. Mine were buzzing like live wires. The ceremony was a blur of heartfelt vows I'd agonized over, the weight of the ring sliding onto her finger, the pronouncement, "You may now kiss the bride." Her lips met mine, brief, cool. Polite applause erupted. Relief washed over me. We'd done it. Husband and wife. Now, the celebration. The receiving line was a whirlwind of handshakes, hugs, tearful congratulations from aunties. Sarah was grace personified, smiling, thanking everyone. But her eyes, they kept darting past me, scanning the crowd with a strange intensity one hadn't noticed before. A tiny seed of unease took root, but I buried it. Wedding jitters. Nothing more. We moved towards the head table, beautifully decorated, the centerpiece of the room. My father's empty chair sat prominently beside mine. He'd passed 2 years ago, a raw wound still. I'd saved that seat for him, a silent tribute, a way to have him there. It was sacred. As we approached, Sarah's grip on my arm tightened, almost painfully. Guests were finding their seats, the band starting a soft, romantic melody. I pulled out her chair, the one meant for the bride, right next to mine. That's when she leaned in. Close. Her breath tickled my ear, her perfume suddenly cloying. Her smile never wavered for the watching guests, but her voice, low and sharp as shards of ice, sliced through the festive air. Not here. Go sit elsewhere. The words didn't register. Not at first. They were too absurd, too impossible. I froze, halfway through the gesture of seating her, my hand still on the chair back. I turned my head slightly, searching her face for the joke, the reassurance. Her eyes met mine. There was no warmth, no apology, only a cold, steely command. A flicker of something hard, impatience, embarrassment, directed at me, at my proximity. What? I breathed, the sound lost in the murmur. Her smile tightened, a brittle mask. She leaned in again, her lips barely moving. You heard me. Go. Sit. Over there. A subtle, dismissive nod towards a smaller table near the back, half-shadowed, where a few distant cousins were settling. The place reserved for people you barely remembered to invite. The world tilted. The cheerful music became a dissonant roar in my ears. The bright lights seemed to dim, focusing cruelly on us, on the frozen tableau of the groom being dismissed from his own head table. Humiliation, hot and acidic, flooded my veins. My face burned. I could feel curious eyes turning towards us, sensing the sudden, awkward tension. My father's empty chair. The symbol of my love, my grief, my wish to honor him on this day, and she wanted me away from it? Away from her. At our wedding feast. The foundation of everything, the love letters, the late-night talks, the shared dreams whispered in the dark, crumbled to dust in that single vicious whisper. This wasn't nerves. This was contempt. This was her drawing a line, in front of everyone, before the cake was even cut, declaring my place was not beside her. That I was... what? An embarrassment? An inconvenience? Unworthy of sharing the spotlight? The carefully crafted joy of the day shattered like cheap glass. I didn't argue. Didn't make a scene. What could I say? The command, delivered with such chilling finality, left no room for discussion. It was a decree. Slowly, mechanically, I released the chair back. My movements felt stiff, puppet-like. I couldn't look at her. Couldn't look at the guests whose confused whispers were now a tangible buzz against my skin. I turned, the expensive fabric of my tux suddenly feeling like a shroud, and walked. Away from the head table. Away from the empty chair meant for my dad. Away from the woman who was now my wife. Each step across the dance floor felt like a mile. Eyes followed me. Pity. Confusion. Voyeuristic curiosity. I slid into the chair at the back table, the one she'd indicated. My cousins offered awkward, hesitant smiles. I couldn't return them. My plate, when it came, might as well have been sawdust. I watched the rest of my wedding unfold from the shadows. Watched Sarah laugh brightly at the head table, charming her guests, accepting toasts, cutting the cake with her parents. The radiant bride. Alone. My father's chair remained empty beside her, a monument not just to his absence, but to mine. To the gaping void she'd carved between us with 6 cruel words. The band played love songs. People danced. The room vibrated with celebration. I sat perfectly still in my exile, the cold whisper echoing endlessly in my skull. Not here. Go sit elsewhere. The taste of champagne was bitter. The laughter sounded hollow. The vows we'd exchanged less than an hour ago felt like ashes in my mouth. Our marriage hadn't begun with love and hope. It had begun with banishment. And the seat I occupied, far from the light, felt like the only truth I could grasp. This was my place now. Where she put me. On what was supposed to be the happiest day of my life.